Good evening. Before I get to the details of yesterday, I'd like to say a few thank yous. Yesterday I was in Fort Worth with my son, getting ready to go to the TCU football game, when I received a phone call from one of my very best friends that said, "You got to call home now." I reached out to the city officials, and they told me, very short sentence, "It's bad." So I left Fort Worth as quick as I could, driving above the speed limit to get here to see what was going on in our city. On the way, I received a phone call from the White House saying that they are standing with the Permian Basin. Received phone calls from the state officials saying they are standing with the Permian Basin. I received phone calls from numerous mayors saying that they are praying and lifting us up as they speak. In fact, I received one email from a mayor in Florida who was preparing his own city for a hurricane, but yet he took time to call and say, "We're with you." You know, their support, University of Texas, the Permian Basin, has been absolutely fantastic. We have an EOC, which is Emergency Operations Center. Due to the amount of law enforcement that is currently in Odessa and Midland, we could not use that facility. We have over 120 FBI agents, ATF, Texas Game Wardens, Texas Rangers, etc., here to make sure you feel safe. Yesterday was a horrible day that shook us to our very foundation, but this will not break us. In West Texas, you have to be tough. Our weather is tough. The oil economy is with its ups and downs. We've been through a lot, and we will get through this. Just want to say a little bit about our first responders. Our first responders did an absolutely amazing job. Our first responders had trained for something like this. Active shooter training is something that we have stressed, but nothing could have prepared us for a moving active shooter tragedy that happened. Their professionalism, their heart, their sacrifices did not go unnoticed by your citizens. And as the mayor, and I serve with an amazing city council, you're our heroes, and we could not be more proud of you. Thank you very much. One of the first calls I made was to a very good friend, Mayor Morales from Midland, to let him know what was going on in our city. He started to find out the details. At one point, I was told that this person was leaving the city of Odessa and was headed to Midland. So I called Mayor Morales and said, "He's headed your way. Get ready." Mayor Morales at that point said, "Mayor, you're welcome to anything we've got." 3 months ago, there was a tragedy in Midland when they lost an officer. The city of Odessa stood side by side with our neighbors to the east. Our fire engines were in their stations so that all their first responders could go to the funerals. Our police units were serving in Midland to make sure all of them could go to the funeral for the officer. And we have been offered the exact same thing. And in a world where everything is so divided, it is so comforting to have the support of a sister city who will do whatever it takes to make sure you are safe. to say a few thanks with our sister city and our guys. Odessa Police Department Chief Gerke, your leadership has been outstanding. I know this is something that none of us wished for, but I can't imagine having a better person in that position than you, Chief Gerke. Chief Alvarez, Sheriff Griffith, thank you for being here. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for everything you did yesterday. At one point, we ran out of ambulances, and most of the equipment was out due to the fact that we had 15 crime scenes. We had officers put people in their Tahoes and take them to the hospital. We had citizens step up and take people to the hospital. But we also had our friends from the east. Midland Police Chief Herman, Midland Fire Chief, and Midland Sheriff, thank you for your support here. Thank you for everything you've helped us with. The reason that person was stopped was because of a Midland police officer and an Odessa police officer. They rammed his car, stopped him, and when he got out, they shot him dead. And I thank them for their service. Yesterday began like many Saturdays in Odessa with the excitement of children ready to enjoy a few days out of school and parents excited to spend time with their families. Unfortunately, that cherished time was cut short by the sound of gunfire. At that time, we saw the very worst of humanity, but we also saw some of the very best of humanity. We saw first responders running towards the danger. We saw our citizens running to help someone they didn't even know. I have heard countless stories of how citizens of Odessa went out of their way and put themselves in danger to help their fellow man. Many times, not even knowing the person's name. We had doctors and nurses that weren't called to the hospitals, they went to the hospitals. They went just to serve. Citizens protecting other citizens, many bringing food to the first responders, the citizens donating blood, because at a time like that, blood is a valuable item. And most important, citizens doing the thing that makes the most difference is praying. After the gunfire stopped, we were saddened to learn that 22 of our citizens were injured in this tragedy, including 3 officers. 1 officer with Odessa Police Department, 1 with Midland PD, and also a trooper from the DPS. I have visited the 2 officers, 1 from Odessa and 1 from Midland. The Odessa officer is in fairly good shape. The Midland officer is a little bit more critical. He is stable, but he was headed for another surgery today. The trooper is doing well. He is at Midland Memorial. And so we would covet your prayers for their fast healing, along with the other 22 that were, the other 19 that were injured. The ones that are at Medical Center Hospital, 1 is in critical condition, 2 in serious condition, 8 in fair condition. We have some at ORMC. I want to say just a brief word about our hospitals. All 3 hospitals, Medical Center Hospital, Odessa Regional, and Midland Memorial, all stepped up and made a huge difference. We would like to express our deepest thanks for the professionalism and the compassion shown by the doctors, nurses, and staff and administration. There has been a family assistance center that will be available starting September 2nd from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for families of victims, anyone present at the crime, and may not have been injured but was traumatized. This will be not available to the general public, but we are anticipating that this family assistance center will be available for a few days to help anyone that is having trouble coping with this. In this tragedy, we also lost 7 of our beloved citizens. You know, ranging from ages from 15, which was a young lady from Odessa High School. So please pray for our schools as the kids from OHS go back and have to learn that one of their friends was killed in senseless violence. At a time like this, I turn to the Bible for guidance and wisdom. And in the 23rd Psalms, it says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, and they comfort me." At this time, we need the faith-based community more than we ever needed them. I would like to thank the Ministerial Alliance for putting this vigil together, for all of the work. Thank UTBB for allowing this to be here. Moving forward is going to be difficult. As West Texans, we are strong and independent and known for our friendliness and our whatever it takes spirit. The next few days and weeks are going to be difficult, but with the strength and the whatever it takes spirit, we will show this community, our state, and our nation what it means to be West Texans. We will make it through this horrible tragedy. In the next few days, many questions are going to be asked, but some questions just have no answers. Like, why is evil allowed in this world? I wished I had the answer. I wished I had the wisdom to give you the answer. But all is left for we, the living, to do is to honor them, to take care of them, and to rededicate ourselves to cherish the freedoms that our citizens were enjoying when they gave that last full measure of devotion. To our fallen citizens, may the wind always be at your back. May the sunshine warm your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. To the citizens of Odessa, Midland, and the Permian Basin, we will get through this tragedy by moving forward one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, and 1 year at a time. We will show our beloved state and nation what it means to be Permian Basin strong. May God bless Odessa. May God bless Midland. May God bless Texas. And may God bless the United States of America.